Ladies, it's getting to a point where you really cannot trust anyone, especially women. I just heard about Storm, and DJ Sky. I don't really know these people, but I do know that Storm is a makeup artist based out of Las Vegas. She actually got jumped by 5 other women. It's said that DJ Sky actually locked her in a room to be jumped by 5 other women. I looked at Storm's page and she is beautiful. She always keeps herself together. Jealousy is absolutely real. And they said that she got jumped because of a missing vape pen. That is so weird. And the fact that DJ Sky actually locked her in the room with 5 other women, that goes to show, number one, jealousy was at play. When women are jealous of you, they will set you up to be in harm's way. They will physically harm you if they are threatened and intimidated by you. This is why I always say that women must know where you are in your season and protect yourself from certain women. Certain women get easily threatened and triggered by the success of other women, and because of that, you cannot surround yourself with a bunch of women oftentimes. And the woman who was walking next to her in the video, because I don't know why she didn't call the cops first. I don't know why people are so uncomfortable with calling the cops. I know of the history and all these things, but if somebody clearly did something to you and based on her face and how it looked, they would have known that somebody harmed her, she should have called the cops instead of getting on social media. But I digress. The woman who was walking next to her, I noticed she didn't have any marks on her. She didn't have any scars, and yet she's walking right next to her. Some women who act like they're your friends, they act like they're going to support you. When it matters the most, they do not have your back. Any woman who is supposedly on your side but allows you to get locked into a room with 5 other women to be jumped, that person is not your friend. Jealousy is a very strong spirit. Jealousy is a very strong trait of a person. And when people have unchecked jealousy and they're jealous of what you're doing, they will put you in harm's way. I don't know the exact situation or went down before this. I don't know their relationship, but I do know they said they jumped her over a vape pen. Not only is jumping someone cowardly, but it also shows just how much they were jealous of this woman. And when you look at, and this is the principle here, as women, number one, when you are leveling up, you have to assess where you are in life in this season, and don't be afraid to separate yourself from certain women. There are certain women you do not, certain people in general, but especially certain women you do not need around you when you are leveling up. As a woman, you don't need to be surrounded by jealous, envious haters who every time you walk into a room and you can feel that energy, they get silent. If somebody gets silent automatically when you walk into a room, there's a group of women having a conversation, and then all of a sudden when you come in, they get dead silent. That kind of indicates that somebody in that room is jealous of you. When you walk by, people are giving you stink faces, giving you the skunk eye. That indicates that somebody is jealous of you, especially women. When women don't like other women, they don't like how you shine, they don't like your beauty, they don't like what you have going on, they always give the stink faces, they always roll their eyes, they have silent little conversations, and they talk to people about you, but they never talk to you. Jealous people have no problem making their dislike for you known. And as women, it is your job to read the signs and remove yourself from them. But today, because of social media, I believe, a lot of women get in these groups with these other women who do not like them, and they end up getting set up to be hurt in some way. The way they messed this girl's face up, it is very clear. They showed a before and after, what she looked like going to the event and what she looked like after. They snatched the girl's hair off. They, messed her face up really bad. These women, in my opinion, they were looking to do that to her already. It was not over a vape pen. The way they did what they did to her, it was much more severe than what it should have been over a pen. And then women who are jealous of other women, they always like to operate in groups. They like to operate in numbers. When a woman and they team up with other women to come against the one woman they're jealous of, those things don't just happen randomly. A lot of women who are jealous of other women, they are already well aware where you're going to be. They stalk your moves. People who have, like they say, those monitoring spirits, those stalker-like spirits, that gang mentality, they like to come against women in groups because they know their wickedness and their envy and their jealousy will be more effective when it's just one of her and 5 or 6 of them. And that's why I encourage women to always have somebody with you, somebody you can trust, especially when you're going amongst women that you really do not know. This woman, because I believe she's an influencer, she's out there in the forefront, she probably thought nothing of it. And that's the first mistake that a lot of women think. They think nothing of being around certain women. You know, you have some people who want you to feel like you shouldn't judge people so harshly. You know, you don't want to profile somebody. You don't want to think the worst. But when you get a bad vibe from somebody, you have to pick up on that and know when it's not right. Know when something's not right. Now, this woman, Storm, I don't really know anything about her personally. You know, maybe she was operating on the same wave as those women, and that's why she ended up in that situation. Who knows? But as women, I'm just going to say how it is. If you're beautiful, if you're successful, if you have things going on for yourself, you don't want to surround yourself with a lot of women. That's just the way it is, unless those women are able to help you in some way. I don't know the nature of the event and why they were all together, but I will say as women, the more you level up your looks, the more you level up spiritually, the more you level up mentally and financially. You don't want to surround yourself with a bunch of regular women. I'm just going to say that. You don't want to surround yourself with a bunch of women, a bunch of people who are not doing anything except for hating on you. There have been too many stories of women who are getting harmed physically simply because they are overlooking the red flags. This woman got jumped, and not only did she get jumped, but now she has a woman walking beside her who's waving as if she's her support, but there's not a mark on her. And she was with her during this time. Some of these people who say they're your friends, they are not your friends. And women are too quick to call other women their friends simply because you run in the same social circles, possibly. A lot of my 20-somethings, late teens, and maybe even early 30s, we have to get out of the habit of automatically calling somebody our friends. A friend is a person you can depend on. And a lot of these women today, you cannot depend on them for anything because their jealousy and envy towards you will not allow them to be dependable. These are often the women who already think you don't deserve what you have, so they will help you lose it. They want to see you look crazy. They want to see you get hurt in some way. And I know it's weird to think that somebody actually wants to see physical harm happen to you. But when a person is jealous of you, they very well can be plotting your demise. We have seen it happen over and over again. And unfortunately, this situation with DJ Sky and Storm, this is just another case of how women and their jealousy can be so vicious, so ruthless, that now you have another situation where a young lady was jumped. And then I want to talk about that for a moment, when this strength in numbers, when it comes to jealousy and envy. When women have this gang mentality, when women have this group mentality, they can never confront you on their own. If they are jealous of you or if they have some kind of issue with you, they can never confront you on their own. They like conflict only when it's amongst the group because they're cowards, because they're punks, as they used to say. Women who are jealous of other women and yet they can never confront her on their own, they have to bring a group. These women have a gang mentality. They often have that monitoring spirit, that stalking mentality, where they become obsessed with bringing another woman down. And if you are not careful and you don't realize where you are, and I keep saying where you are because I mentioned this in my live the other day. If you know that you've changed, because haters, jealous people, they can notice, and this doesn't have anything to do with Storm and DJ Sky and that whole jumping situation. This is just the principle of the matter. As women, you have to recognize where you are in life and then curate your life in a way where you safeguard yourself from jealous, envious people. A lot of you ask me, how do I handle jealousy? So what can I do? Like you're looking for a strategy on how to handle jealous people. Well, here's the strategy. Number one, it starts with you. Know where you are in life. Think about how somebody, you have to almost allow yourself to get into the mind of the jealous person. Think about how they would think. If a person saw where you are today based on where you used to be, how would they treat you, especially if they're jealous of you? Would they start acting funny around you? Would you feel that uneasiness and that tension every time you walk into a room? Have you felt that? Think about those things before you go into the situation or the interaction with those people. You have to really get real about where you are in life, and then remember that the world is not as, easygoing and spotless, and everybody's not as innocent as some naive people would like to believe or would have you to believe. So if you know that you're the kind of woman now, like, okay, I'm not that same girl, I lost a lot of weight or I gained weight and I'm looking good and I'm feeling good. Yeah, undoubtedly a hater is going to be around trying to come at me in some way. The women at my job are treating me differently. Even the women in my family, I noticed once I graduated college, they don't even ask me to hang out like that. I noticed once I got a new job, they don't even ask me to hang out. I noticed once I moved out the neighborhood, they don't even invite me to the barbecue anymore. Don't ignore those things, because when you do, you're often setting yourself up to be in harm's way. You're setting yourself up to be around people who now, because they're jealous of what you have going on, they try to mistreat you in some way. When you are aware of where you are in life, you know who to have around and who not to have around. I can tell you, when I started growing more spiritually and getting closely connected to God, there were certain people that I could not have around me, because every time they were around, they were making things hard for me. They were making little comments, taking little pot shots. They were criticizing and scrutinizing everything that I would do. They were trying to make me feel bad for wanting to live for God. People who saw that I lost weight, suddenly they were making little jokes about how I look like I'm on a substance, how I must be stressing. Every time I ate something, they were saying I ate like a white girl. Every time I tried to wear something different, they were saying, oh, you're dressed like a grandma. People who always criticize the positive changes that you're making in your life, those are not people that you need to have around you. And it starts, you don't even recognize that they're doing that to you unless you recognize that you've changed. Because your haters and jealous people, they always notice when you make changes, because they're always watching you, because they're a hater. That's what they do. They study everybody else's life except for their own. So when you're aware of how you change, you can better protect yourself and cut off the people who no longer need to be around you, because oftentimes they're just making things harder for you than what they have to be. And then also you have to check your environment. If you're around people who do not share the same goals, the same interests as you, that's fine. But the issue comes when these people cannot respect what you do and they don't respect you as a person. People who don't respect what you do, they will always find ways to dump on you or to get somebody else to dump on you. Once again, they will always try to distract you with their negativity and their misery. And they will recruit other people to come on their side to come against you. I have dealt with those things personally, where people don't like how I operate. People don't like what I believe. And because of it, they take little shots at you and they try to distract you and they try to wear you down with their negativity. As women, knowing who you are as a woman, that more than anything will protect you from jealous people. But ladies, beware of who you're calling friend. Beware of people you are allowing into your circle, because that's another thing. As women, when it comes to your circle of influence and the people you choose to have around you, as I've said before, you have to be very selective. And the people who were with you when you were down and out, unfortunately, those may not be the same people with you once you become blessed in some way, once you actually start doing better in some way. It's because they can't handle it. And some people get so jealous of other people, they become aggressive, physically aggressive. And I know this might sound like a childish teenage kind of thing because a lot of these things happen in high school, college, but you have some women, they don't like to see you winning in life. They just don't. And because of it, they will recruit their minions to come around you to discourage you in some way and even come against you physically. So when it comes to your physical well-being and your mental, you really need to understand and know where you are in life and weed out the riffraff. Get rid of those people who are only making life harder instead of more easy for you as women. It's unfortunate that another situation had to happen where a woman was jumped and physically harmed in some way, but this just further proves the reason why I must continue to talk about this topic. And number one, like I said, it starts with you. When you know where you are in life as a woman, you don't leave yourself open to deal with people that you should not be dealing with. All right? Like and subscribe to this channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.